Oh boy, you know what it is. It's a confirmed transfer weekend. That is right. We're going to do a double upload this weekend. I reckon a huge one. Now listen up, ladies and gents. We're going to be doing a double upload, alright? So confirmed on Saturday, confirmed on Sunday. Now this is what is going to happen if you want to see it. If this video smashes 5,000 thumbs up and likes on this one, I will upload another confirmed transfer episode tomorrow, okay? And that is going to be a huge episode, and I know you're going to be excited to see it because we have so many transfers that happened this week that, you know, I need 2 videos to cover it all. So if you want to see it, boys, let's make it happen. Guys, make sure you subscribe to me down below as well. Click the little bell to just, notify you guys when I go live and stuff like that, and when I upload my videos and stuff. Little subscribe button down below. Make sure you click it. It's free of charge. And if you want to get yourself any custom controllers, Xbox or PlayStation, check out GetGripped.co.uk. Top of the description down below, should I say. Rossi will get you 5% discount. Now, the first player in this episode is one that obviously is probably one of the biggest money transfers so far in January. So we're going to start off a bit of a bang. We have Morgan Schneidlin. You're fully aware of this one. This one's been all over the press, all over the newspapers this week and stuff like that. And he's now signed for Everton on a permanent deal. So in 2 years, he made 32 appearances, scored 1 goal for Man United. That was pretty much all in the first season. He hasn't really featured much this year, and I think to move away is probably a good move for him in his career. 27-year-old needs to be getting some minutes under his belt. He needs to be getting some sort of game time. He just wasn't getting it under Jose Mourinho. So, he needs to just, move away a little bit. Now, this one is like a £20 million deal, alright? I'm going to get the exact figures up in a second, alright? Let's talk about this. The midfielder ended an 18-month spell at Manchester United, of course, on Thursday, as he completed a £24 million move to Everton. Exactly what I was just saying. Now, Morgan Schneidlin, he says it was an easy decision to join Everton, even though several clubs are interested in signing the former Manchester United man. He's played literally just 11 minutes in the Premier League this season under Jose Mourinho, so nowhere near enough for him. He needed to move on and get more minutes. Now, loads of clubs interested in him. I think West Brom was another one of the clubs who actually lost 4-0 to Tottenham today, so he probably did well missing out on that a little bit. So apparently he's not the kind of player who wants to sit on the bench and earn good money and just be happy that way. The only thing that makes him happy is actually playing and getting some minutes under his belt, and that is the reason why he's chosen Everton. Obviously Ronald Koeman knows Schneiderlin from his time at Southampton. They both shared a bit of time at Southampton together, so they both know each other. They both can work well together, I'm sure, and hopefully he can kick on now, really push his career on again and take it further. He's 27 years of age. He's got a few years left on a locker, and I hope he does well for Everton. Obviously I'm a Man United fan, and I don't begrudge him moving away. I think it's a fantastic move for him. I think he needed it, and on a personal level, he's made a good move. Next up, we have got another player coming to the Premier League, alright? And this one's actually a pretty decent guy. He's a pretty good one. It's a bit of a cheap signing, but a lot of you would have heard this player, and I haven't actually seen this sort of, transfer publicised anywhere, to be honest. So hopefully I can just teach you one thing or two. Now, Luciano Narsai, that's how you pronounce his name, I could be wrong, is signed to Swansea from PSV for £4 million. Quite cheap, quite good. Now, the 26-year-old is Paul Clement's first signing at Swansea. I've been a target for the former manager Bob Bradley, apparently. Narsai signed a 2.5-year deal. It's not really a massive contract for a 26-year-old. 2.5-year deal. 26. I mean, they only paid £4 million for him. Obviously, people don't rate him as high as I do. I think he's quite a good player, actually. So he's come out and said we are 2-time champions and obviously Holland and stuff, and it's time to get a chance to play in the Premier League, which he's excited about, of course. Now, if you look at his FIFA card, that's pretty interesting. There's another card in FIFA in the Premier League that we're going to want to see, right? 93 pace, winger, 77 dribbling, actually pretty decent. That's a good Ultimate Team card, and he's one of the players I hope really does well in the Premier League, and he's got the potential to do really well and stuff. Really tricky winger and stuff like that. Really pacey. He can cause fullbacks problems all day long. Apparently, he's saying that his agent talked with many clubs, but when Swansea came in, I said to him I wanted to play there. So as soon as Swansea came in, he felt it was right. Now, I really hope Paul Clement and obviously people at Narsai and the new players and obviously the current players can sort the situation out at Swansea and turn it around. They really do. They deserve to be in the Premier League. But apparently today, obviously, Arsenal are playing Swansea. Now, he's been ruled out of that game with a calf problem. So he's been ruled out of that game apparently already. So guys, you won't be able to see him play today, or you wouldn't have seen him play today after obviously the game happened before this video, and the game's happening I think sort of nowish. I think. Whew, I just had to run and get another battery for the camera. Alright, so let's get into the third player now. So we have another player next coming to the Premier League, of course. Now, this one is a little bit less, you're not going to use him in the Ultimate Team, all right? You're not going to use him. His cards are not that great, to be honest. But we've got this guy, Evandro, has made his move to Hull, okay? And this is a permanent move as well. This guy's actually come from Porto, so a really big club, of course. And now Hull are really struggling. They need to step it up, I think. And making a few signings and stuff is a good way of doing that. They really are lacking, and, hopefully this guy, come from Porto, really big club. So obviously, if he's come from there, he's got to be somewhat decent, isn't he? If you look at his card, I mean, 80 dribbling, centre mid, you know, not a bad Premier League card, but you're not going to want him in too many of your Premier League teams. Now, Evandro apparently showed promise in Brazil at a youth level, but never actually found his feet at Porto. So, for example, he played in Brazil's 2005 FIFA World Youth Championship side, making 6 appearances for them. But that's about as far as he really went. He joined Porto a few years ago and apparently never actually found his feet. Now, hopefully, it's time for him to find his feet in the Premier League, and hopefully he can find it because Hull, they need some feet. But we're not stopping there with Hull because they have made another signing. This guy's on loan. We've got Nyasi, I think that's how you pronounce this guy. He's come on loan from Everton, alright. So Everton, obviously, they signed 1 or 2 players this January, and now they are obviously taking people away. They're pushing people away. So Nyasi will obviously only remain there for like 6 months until the end of the season. So this guy's a goal scorer. He's a striker. Hull need exactly that. They are lacking in front of goal at the minute. Apparently, that's one of their biggest downfalls. Like I say, this guy's FIFA card, you're not really going to want in your team too much. 83 pace. It's not too bad if you've got a really, really cheap team. And Nyasi actually joined Everton from Lokomotiv Moscow back in 2014 for a fee of 13.5 million. So it's quite a decent price tag on this guy's head. But he's really failed to establish himself at Goodison Park. Obviously, the Senegalese striker's well behind Lukaku in the pecking order. And he needs game time, to be honest. And Hull, he's definitely going to get some game time at Hull. And he needs to start banging some goals because Everton are going to want him back. You know, if he's got any chance, any future at Everton, he's got to do well at Hull. And if he does well at Hull, obviously he can keep them up. And maybe he might get a permanent at Hull. You never know. That might be an even better move for him. But either way, I think the new, obviously, Hull manager's made a good statement, getting a few signings in early. He's got Nyasi, obviously Everton signed a couple of years ago for decent money, so hopefully he can come in on loan. We've got Evandro, who had got quite a bit of promise back in his Brazil days, but he's gone a bit flat since then. Hopefully he can find that form again. And now, as last but not least, we have another player. Alright, now this guy's left Everton. You know, Everton been quite busy or whatever. We got Tom Cleverley. Now, everyone says this guy looks like me. I really don't think we look that similar, but there are traits there, but we're not that similar. But anyway, the Everton midfielder joins Watford on loan. Now, would you believe it? Tom Cleverley is actually 27. I remember him breaking onto the scene at Man United as a young, obviously, player, and he joined the Toffees from Manchester United in 2015, and he only played twice since November. Now, if you guys actually may or may not remember this, okay, but an England international, as in the England international, he spent 2009 and 2010 season on loan with Watford when he was at United. They were then in a championship, and he actually won the club's Player of the Season award. So he's already done it at Watford, and he's already won a big award for it. Now, the Hornets actually have, an option to sign him on a permanent as well. He's currently on a loan, but if they really like him and he does really well, they do have the option to sign him on a permanent, which he probably could do, because let's be honest, he's already been at Watford before. He's done really well about 7 years ago. He did really well, Player of the Season from then, and he's come back 7 years later on loan again. And obviously, if they like him, if they like what they see, they can buy him and get him on a permanent deal. Now, in today's episode, guys, we've got a pretty big Premier League episode for transfers. Now, tomorrow we have foreign transfers, alright? It's a really big episode. Lots of research have gone into it, and if you want to see that video, drop a like and a thumbs up down below. Can we smash 5,000 likes on this video? Guys, I'm out. Hasn't played as always. See you tomorrow for another transfer episode. Peace.